Hello everyone, this is Sherry Joy Collier and it is Saturday, October, I believe the 5th, 2024. Welcome to my art studio. This is the second video that I am doing. I had laid down the foundational shapes and basic colors in the last video. This one I wanted to add some more color and fine tune some details. We'll see how far I get. I don't want to make this a long video. So I think I'm going to actually start with my orange flowers here, and I've decided that I want to add, so I'm going to put a little bit of orange on the plate. Let's just do a little bit more. Okay, a little orange on the plate. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of white to my plate. And just to brighten that orange just a little bit, I would really like to add a little bit of this deep yellow to it as well. So we'll see how that all works together. And I'm going to choose a brush that has an angle, I think, this time. So let me find one that I think I like. So I think I'm going to use this angled brush today, at least for now. And let's get dipping in here. And I have a lot of work to do on this painting still. I want to alter the background color quite a bit. And I want to really cause these orange flowers to pop. And I just am, again, I'm not making them kind of like a specific flower. I have like shapes in mind of flowers that I've seen while walking in my neighborhood. So I'm just kind of laying in some shapes of those flowers that I've seen in my neighborhood. Okay, and now I'm gonna just add some straight orange over top of this. So I put this white in. I mixed some white in. And I'm gonna just go back over the top of it with that orange and see if I can't really brighten that up. And this flower is kind of tucked back in behind. I think I'm actually gonna add another orange flower right down here somewhere. So I know I'm covering over some stuff. So I'll have to actually get a good deal of white in there to cover over the green. And then let's go back into our orange. Come over the top of that. And I'll have to let this dry a bit. Otherwise it'll just blend, as you probably know if you've done any painting at all. And yet here I keep messing with it. I always say I'm gonna stop and let something dry. And then I just keep trying and trying. I'm gonna let this one kind of have some interesting stuff going on down here too. Okay, let's let that dry for a bit. Okay, now what I wanna do is I'm going to wipe this orange paint off, and I'll go into my water, rinse that brush, and it's just making sure I'm getting that orange off. I want to turn my attention now to these purple flowers, and I have a different purple. I kind of want to try mixing this purple here. Keep my white from there, actually. Let's pull in our white onto this plate, and let's mix these two together. And it's a similar color, quite similar. So I might actually come in with that darker one and just put a few paint strokes in. Again, kind of trying to just lay loose paint strokes. And then I'll come back in with that lighter color and lay some of those lighter brush strokes in here. Okay, let's grab a little tiny bit more white. Okay, and just kind of come in and even touch a little white just in a few spots. It's amazing what just a little touch of white can do to add highlight. So I'm kind of just punching in some white here and there. Okay. Punching in a little dark too. So getting some shadows from the straight paint, the straight dark paint. And just punching in a few shadows here and there. And then I can come back in and I can even do more white later. Okay, let's come in. I'm gonna actually come down here and lay some brush strokes in here. Did not want to get that big of a clump on my brush, but anyway. And now we're going to get a little bit more white and come in and lay down some white, kind of mix. And then I'm going back into my dark to get those shadowy parts of the flower laid in there. And then we'll go back in with our lighter white and pop in some highlights. I kind of wanted those to be a little bit more rounded. Now I'm going to pull some dark in underneath those. Okay, just kind of touching in a few spots that I see I want more dark. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry now, and let's grab our paper towel and get as much of that off of there as I can. I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna wash the brush and then kind of pat it off here. And how's everybody's Saturday doing? My Saturday is going pretty well. Kind of using my leftover white that I had to punch that in a little more, get that white in a little more. I'll come back and do something different with the centers later. Those are nice dark centers. I like that. Okay, need more white. Okay, so I'm getting more white here. I'm gonna go in and pull out. Okay, let's see how that's doing. While I am doing this, I would like to ask if you would do me a big favor and hit like, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, hit subscribe too, because that helps this get out a lot more. If you just share it with somebody who you think might relax and enjoy watching painting happen. Share it around. That'll help me grow my channel. I'm trying to get to the point where I can go live. Because if I can go live, I can interact with people and we can talk back and forth. And it's not just me sitting here yakking at you. Okay, I went and messed with my orange flowers, and what I really wanted to do, actually I'm gonna move to the background now. Because once I get more of an idea of my color of my background, that's gonna help dictate where I go next with these flowers. So I'm actually switching. I really like this light blue paint, so I'm switching over to the thin body paint simply because I don't want to take the time to mix. And then I also have this dark yellow that I want to add to my plate. And that's going to kind of be some of the sunshine coming in. Let's get a little white on my plate as well. I think I'm going to keep the same brush that I've been using, and I'm going to dip into my light blue, and I'm just going to kind of go in and I'm going to punch this in. Not every single nook and cranny, but I'm just going to pull that in on this side of the canvas. I'm pretending like my light source is coming from that angle. And I really am already kind of liking that contrast better. Okay, I'm going to pull some in on this side too. Let's do a nice big brush stroke. And if I can dab some of this in a few spots, so it looks like the flower, is there in the background, is punching through a little bit. So I'm going to do the same thing in here. And come right in here, pull in this light blue right around there. And then down here, let some of that light blue come in around this white flower. And this isn't going to be as good of coverage because the paint is so much thinner than the other paint, but that's the effect I actually want. Okay, same thing down here. I'm kind of coming in and doing a little bit of a line right up against that base. And then let's pop that light blue. I'm getting my sides too a little bit here. And I kind of want to shape that leaf a little bit more, so I'm going to pull that in. There. Got a little bit more shape to that. Pulling in a little light blue up here too. Now let's see, I kind of want to bring the light blue right in here. Into that base. And popping that light blue in a few spots here. And then I'm pulling that light blue in over here too, just because of the base. But I'm gonna actually make sure this side stays darker. So I'm purposely kind of giving a much more watered down version of the light blue. But I am pulling that in. Okay, let's punch in some more. And the good news is about this, I can come back, and if I want to touch up my stems, I can. I'm actually gonna cover the circle in that, and then I can come back in. I can punch in some different colors on those stems. In the water, they go every which way anyway. I'm just punching in a little light blue along here, kind of in the background. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna water this down and just put a little touch of that light blue. I like that leaf, the shape of that leaf, so I didn't mean for that to get so onto that leaf. So just kind of pulling in that very watered down light blue, getting my sides too here while I'm at it. And we'll go kind of around that leaf. Punch it in close to the flower here. And come up here and get this side. I can do that part later as well. Okay, so now what I need to do is I need to stand up. Actually, I see something else down here that I want to cut in, the light blue. And just make sure I'm getting that light blue background to punch in right through in here in some places. All right, now I've got to stand up and I got to look down on it and see how I'm liking my composition and how I'm liking my light side over here. And this is actually stayed pretty dark since I watered this down, so I'm liking that. And I'm kind of wanting to add just this little tiny touch of this yellow, almost like a little kiss of sunshine in some spots over here. And again, I'm gonna really water that down. Little kiss of sunshine up here on this corner. Just watering down that yellow kind of helps it not be so solid, because I really want that beautiful light blue background to show through. So now as I get a little further down, I'm just kind of doing less and less of the sunshine, not having it as pronounced, but there, it's there. Okay, so you see that little bit of yellow popping through? I like that. Okay, I'm kind of tempted to come in and add a beautiful bright yellow here over the top of that green. Okay, I'm going to leave that just the way it is. Now, my leaves. I wanted to make some of these leaves less green. So I am actually going to take this green and I'm going to just put a little bit of that on my plate. This is called I can't pronounce it. Chrome oxide green. Chrome oxide green. Okay, so now I'm going to take the little bit of yellow that's in my brush and I'm going to see what I get when I mix those two together. Kind of like that. So I might kind of add a beautiful highlight to some of these. And I might even come in and make some of these stems be this chrome oxide green. So I'm just going straight into my chrome oxide green now, bringing these different stems to life. Okay, let's pull some of that chrome oxide green up here in some of these leaves. And it's kind of warming up the green a little. I like that, actually. So I'm gonna take more of that, a little bit of that yellow, and I'm gonna put in that color, and I might even make some of these leaves go different ways. I'm going to pull that leaf up quite a bit. And just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got some leaves here. 6, 7, 8, 9. Odd numbers are good, but you also kind of want to look at your composition and see where they are hanging out. And then I need to get some, don't know if I have it nearby, brown. I do have raw umber, so I might go ahead and use this, even though it's the thinner paint. And I'm just gonna see if I can take some of this brown and some of this yellow and get kind of an in-between color to kind of just dab in a few places around the center. And I'm working in some shadows and a few spots around the centers. Then I'm going to come back into this yellow, dab that around. Then I'm going to touch into my white, dab that around, then come back into my brown and put a few little dots here and there of that brown. Okay, I'm gonna leave those centers alone now. And now I have to do my little standing up trick and look down on it and see what else I want to adjust, if anything. I think I want to get rid of some of that red right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take a little bit of that light blue and just come around that petal and cut into that other flower there a little bit. Same thing down here. Just cut in some of that light blue. Okay, I think that's actually light enough. Okay, so now as I stand up and I look down, I do see some places where I could pull in some more highlights. I think that the orange flowers are still very, very wet though, so I'm not gonna do that yet, but the last step I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in and I'm going to pop little highlights on those orange flowers. I think there's a step that I could do right now though. Let's do, I'm gonna take straight white and get the side of my, or the tip of my brush. I'm just gonna kind of make sure that that's not too gloppy. And I am just gonna pop in some white on the side of the base, but not the whole thing, just here and there, like popping in a little line. Let's get some more white on my brush. And then I might even just pop a little bit of white back here. And maybe some white. Let's water it down though. Let's water my white down. Just gonna kind of pop a little line that indicates the water. And just pop a few little highlights on some of these stems through the glass. And then even back here, little highlights on the lip of the vase. Okay. I gotta grab a little bit of orange and just pop over that. Okay. Okay, let me stand up and take a peek. I'm calling that pretty good. Actually, I want to curve that line a little bit more. I'm being a little bit fussy, probably fussier than I should be. So I'm taking that light blue and I'm trying to lift that water line a little bit. If that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. Actually, let's really even kind of take that away right there. And I'm just going to bring that light blue right up into there and right down here. Okay, so now my water line is not as obvious, not as pronounced. And I'm gonna stop right there, let this all dry. The very last thing to do will be to put in any highlights that I wanna put. So that's gonna be a little bit of lighter colors on the flowers and possibly fade out those stems a little bit so they don't look so green. But that's enough for now. This video is getting long. Please send this around to whomever you think would enjoy it. And thank you very much for watching. Have yourself a great weekend. Sherry Joy Collier signing off for now.